Today we want to share a really big experience that we've been through.
I just came out to my parents,
That's a huge thing.
and it's not good. Actually, I came out to them like long time ago, about like 10 years ago. But after that, we never talked about this ever. And I think they just pretend like nothing happened. They not really accept this fact, and we really never talked about that. And I never brought my boyfriends to my parents, so for them, it's like nothing happened. And now, actually, it's not only because of so-so, but also I think, okay, it's time that I officially tell them this fact, and I wish them could be like accept this. And also because we're going to travel in China, so I wish that's also good to have this opportunity to talk with my parents. And things like not going well.
When you came out the first time, you guys you just talk to them like, oh, I like boys, not girls, and they give you some instruction like never bring anyone home, or you shouldn't talk about this or something.
Yeah. When I told my mom, and my mom used a very unrespectful word. Oh, so you mean like Aries in Chinese? Aries. It means some kind of people who are very sissy, like girly, and
like faggot or something.
Yeah, like those kind of words. Yeah. So, yeah, but actually she doesn't know about this. Even now, she doesn't know about this. And she told me like, oh, don't bring any kind of boys back home. That's disgusting. Something like this. For me, it doesn't matter like they accept or not, because it's my life. It's not their life. But still, I feel a little hurt about it.
Yeah, sure. And I think it's important to say that Chichi's parents came from a generation that when China was really isolated from the world, and like they didn't have any access to news or how we live in the eastern side of the earth. Maybe people that are really more close, they don't share too much about their personal information with family, even though family and friends. And so this kind of thing about sexuality, it's not something that it's really like it's not really something that you open and let all people know about. Like they live in a kind of blurry line, you know?
Yeah, there's no this kind of spread like, oh, gay or homosexual or LGBT is a normal thing. These people, they are normal people. It's just like maybe minority people, but they are normal. This is not a disease. Actually, we don't have this kind of any of this kind of information.
Yeah,
this is like a non-topic. It's like no one talk about that. And even you post on social media like this video, I don't know, in some social media it must be banned. Actually, I want to share the talk between me and my parents. I started this topic, so I sent a message first. I said, 我在巴西圣保罗这里谈了一个男朋友，男的，我还特意强调这是个男的，圣保罗本地人，87年的，基本跟我同龄。巴西这边同性是可以结婚的，所以我俩是照着结婚谈对象。如果你俩愿意的话呢，回头可以视频的认识一下。但是他不怎么会中文，正在学呢。And my mom answered，
不行，我们俩接受不了，这正常人都接受不了，搭在一块儿，好像我们俩就快成笑话了快。什么呀这是？我们接受不了啊。
And she sent another audio said，
如果你这辈子要真是不想找，你一人过都行，你别弄这个，你这在咱中国这人哪接受得了啊？这不成笑话了。
And I said， 我们正常结婚，我们以后也要孩子，我们过我们的日子，我们也不需要别人接受啊。这在国外其实是非常正常的事儿。都正常结婚要孩子，国内就是为了保生育率，让老一辈信息闭塞，年轻人能接受，没有不接受的，跟他们也没什么关系，有什么接受不接受？你如果有一天想认识就认识，不想认识就别认识，你不愿意认识就别认识，我也不用带他去见你们，我也不给你们添麻烦，你们邻居也不需要知道。My mom said, "Please be rational. You can find a girl." And I said, yeah, we plan to have kids in future, and if you want to know, you can know. If you don't, it's okay. And I'm super clear that if you force me to have a girl, and I won't be happy, and so you want your son to lie to this girl for the whole life and live in a pain. Do you want this? And this in American, in South American, in Europe, a lot of places, even Taiwan, that people can get married. And it's only like China mainland, it's not. And I think if some place it is allowed, that means this should be a normal thing. And it's just some traditional concept. They cannot accept this. And I actually don't need to live in China, and I don't need to tell any relatives. I don't need that. And I don't want to give you guys trouble. And also it's because the respect and love from me to you too. So I tell you the truth. I don't want to like lie to you. And no matter I get married with whom, this fact won't have any influence on how much I love you too. Don't cry. I even don't cry. And my dad sent a message said like, please be rational. This is not normal in any place. And how about you just live by yourself?
You better live alone.
Yeah, and I said like, so if it's not normal that it is allowed to get married here, and I don't think there's like normal, non-normal, because you can see a lot of celebrities, and I have to blur this part. People cannot see because there's a lot of celebrities, and people must know that there's a lot of Chinese celebrities. They cannot come out, but they are, and people know about this. And my dad said, you can think this way, but we don't accept. And he said like, so minority minority people is like this. And I said, so minority people represents normal. So panda is now normal. And so I grew up like 197, this kind of hat, this is not normal. So I am just myself and I don't need to consider majority, sorry. I don't need to consider majority. And I didn't do any bad things and I just live my own life and why this is not normal. And my mom said like, so normal life is like this, I cannot accept. They just keep saying like,
That is like,
yeah. And I said like, so what is the normal life? It's like you guys every day just quarrel or just take off each other and stay till old, and this has nothing related to the gender? I don't think so. And so two men cannot take care of each other, and they cannot stay till old. Right? This doesn't make sense. And I said like, we even not like you guys like quarrel every day. And I said I just due to respect and love, so I tell you guys the truth, and I wish that someday, because of love and respect, you can accept my fact. And of course, if you don't accept, it's okay for me, and I also respect that. And one day, if we have kids, if you want to be the grandparents of these kids, and just be the grandparents, and we don't need to live with you, and you don't accept us, it's okay. And I wish that you know this kind of choice, only from this kind of choice I can be happy. And the normal version of me that you think, that is not me, and I won't be happy. And my mom said like,
那属发生战期，我跟你说，我真实在接受不了。
they cannot debate
No
with
matter
me,
what
you
you
know?
say.
They just keep saying like they cannot accept. And I said, I accept, you cannot accept. And this is very normal. And because in China, this kind of information is really blocked. So for you guys, you definitely cannot accept. And I totally accept this. And I just want you to know that what I'm doing and I'm happy and you don't need to worry. This is why I told them. And my mom said, we just hope you like a healthy physically and mentally. And just come back as soon as possible, and with some therapy, some psychiatrists, right? Things like this, and also some Chinese medical way that they can cure this anxiety and depression. Yeah, so we think you are confident and you have this ability and you can have a right sexuality.
Right sexuality.
Yeah, you use the word right.
Oh my god.
And you can grow up healthily. So for your own health, living by yourself is the best choice. And I replied that like, I suggest you to go to therapy first. Because the doctor, the therapist, they will tell you that gay is a normal thing. Gay is not in their range of therapy. And even if it's Chinese doctors, Chinese therapists, I think they will tell you the same.
Actually, this kind of conversion is kind of criminal because it's a kind of a torture.
This is like in 90s, this is very common.
Yeah.
Because people didn't know that this is a normal thing and they treat it like a disease, so people try to cure it. But nowadays, actually, the recognition is totally different of this homosexual thing. But in China, yes, because their thoughts of this thing is still stay in 90s. It's not like right now.
Yeah, actually, I guess that till 2000s, it was like considered a disease in the WHO.
Yeah, they already like deleted from the disease.
Yeah.
So this is totally a normal thing.
Yeah.
And
they this is a confession that this thing was used as a political way, you know.
Yeah. And I guess China, the reason why China just so against this thing is also from the political purpose.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because it's like American is trying to use this to manipulate people, and now China trying to do the contrast.
Yeah, and also your population is growing old, and you guys need like new kids, and the easiest way is just to make people like
Get married.
And, yeah.
Okay, and I said like oh, so you cannot accept the real me, and I already tell you that I'm happy now, and because you need your like dignity, you need your respect from other people, so you'd rather me die alone, and you want me to find a girl that I don't like. So let's say who need to go to see the therapist, right? And the other thing is like the sexuality, there's no right or wrong. It's just different. So it's just like gender, there's a different gender. It's not like which gender is right or wrong. Yeah. And so your recognition about this stuff stays in like 50 years ago, and I don't blame you. And as parents, if you love your son, like a little bit love your son, then you should be happy that he's happy and not thinking he's sick. And please think carefully that the stay alone is the best choice for me or for you, because I definitely have a guy that I love, and we can accompany each other, and we can take care of each other and get married and have kids. And just because the gender is not a girl, so I have to choose to die alone. And so please think this is like you really love and respect your son or not. And I already told you that I know that you cannot understand this thing, and I don't beg you to understand, and I won't give you trouble. And actually I don't need to tell you this thing, but because of the love and respect I chose to tell you. And I just want to tell you that I'm happy and I can live a very good life and you don't need to worry. And actually, I'm not asking your permission or suggestion. And also because I'm already 36 years old, I have very mature value and the value of the world, and it's not irrational. You need to know, let go, and respect and love. And my dad answered like, so we wish that you have it's almost the same thing. We wish you are healthy physically and mentally. And then what you said, like, it seems that it makes sense, but actually if you think it deeply, it's not. It doesn't make sense. And no one asks you to find a girl that you don't love. And even from the old time, it's the man and the woman, they are together, right? And I want you to think deeply and have a better value. And your value is not mature at all. Yeah, he said this. And I said, okay, from ancient time, okay, let's see, blah, 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 blah. I just list like, yeah, they are gays. This is in the history and Chinese history. We have this
Even
history.
the emperor, right?
Yeah, I told him like this emperor and also some famous words is from this. So why you told me like from ancient? It's just you don't know the information. That doesn't mean this.
True.
Yeah, I said like I spent a long time to accept myself, and I know that this is not. I mean, I try to figure out this is not a disease. And you guys can go to check the information that WHO 1990 they already deleted gay from the disease. So if right now any hospital or any therapist tell you that as a gay this is a disease, then this people or this hospital, they are scam. They just want you to spend money.
And they're criminals.
Yeah. So I just list like, oh, all these places they can get married. Yeah. So and he judged me like I'm not mature. But actually I just debate like you guys even don't know some common sense, and you just use like 50 years ago this kind of knowledge and to talk to me. And how can we judge whose value is mature or not? And my dad said, I don't want to debate with you. You just think. Yeah. And I said, you don't want to debate because you cannot win. You know that you cannot win. And I said, my partner, he's a Brazilian and he has a decent job, and also he's beautiful and he's a very normal person. And we are together and we didn't do any bad thing and we don't like bother other people. And the only problem is like he is a guy, so you cannot accept, and the only reason that you cannot accept is people will judge you. Yeah, actually it is like this. So
Yes.
There's no other reason, because if you're for my benefit, I already tell you I'm happy.
Yeah.
So why you stop me?
They are
So this is
worried
not for
of
me.
being judged.
Yeah. And I can understand this. So I actually didn't. I was not trying to do this thing to bother them. No, I just want to share this information. That's all. And I don't know. Now I'm going back. I'm gonna go back to China, and we can figure out like what's gonna happen. Maybe they will send me to some prison.
Oh, wait.
That's better. So this is actually a very important thing that I want to share, that it actually depends. Like for now, some young people, their parents is like our generation or a little bit older than our generation. So for their parents, maybe they can be like more easily to accept this kind of fact. So you don't need to suffer. And if they also live in a traditional thought, and I suggest people, you have to be economically, financially like independent. So that like me, I'm now like I don't need to live with them and I don't need to spend any of their money. So for me, actually, I don't ask anything from them anymore. And I already, from last 10 years, I already gave them a lot of money. So it's not like payback, but it's already like I know that they have enough money for their rest of life. And I can live my rest of life. And I wish that we could have a very good relationship together as a huge family. But if they don't want this, then it's okay for me. Because I really become like independent a lot recent years. It took me a long time because before 30 years old, I lived with my parents and also at that time maybe I didn't earn enough money or something. But I still all the time I was financially independent. So only when you're financially independent, you don't need to listen. But still, I have this respect for them. So I tell them to respect them, not to ask for any kind of approval. So now I can choose my life. This is really good. But I know that a lot of people in China, they cannot. And all you can do, for my suggestion, is like trying to make better yourself. And someday, no matter whether you come out or not, and you can have the life you want, I guess.
Yes, I guess it's important to know, first of all, people are not less human or not dirty or not wrong because they have a different sexual orientation. Second of all, nobody's gonna do for yourself what you can do for yourself. Like you have to focus on your happiness, and in a place that you feel good, that you feel fine. If you look just for approval, you won't be happy at all. So you have to work for yourself, not for others. And I'm really proud of you, babe, because you can stand up
pretty
for
hard.
yourself, and know how hard it is.
Yeah.
I guess this is the biggest challenge of our generation towards relationship. You know,
And I really don't want to like get married with a girl, like try to take advantage, because I really had a lot of chances to find a like very rich or beautiful girl, but I didn't, and I really despise this kind of person. I think some of the people who's watching this video, maybe they are this kind of people. They were forced.
Pretend.
Yeah, they were forced to get married with a girl, but actually this is not responsible for yourself and also for the girl. So I respect this. I despise this. Is that called despise, right?
Yeah, despise it's really strong word.
Yes, this one word. And I really judge this behavior, but I also can understand, especially in China, not in other places, because China is really restricted to this
But
information.
also, maybe, babe, this is like one step they are taking to have more conscious and to just accept themselves and come clear with the partner, and some maybe cannot. No, we don't know.
But
We cannot
sometimes
judge it.
people, they are single and they cannot easily find a
Yes.
good person.
I realize it's not emotional responsible to do it. Yeah, but
This is not easy, but I mean, it's good that some young people right now, they can accept themselves.
yes.
And also, it's totally different from outside world and China, because outside world, people, even if they judge you, they maybe not act so obviously.
Yeah.
But in China, this is really, like on the internet, also in the real life, it's really rare to see gay, like come out gay.
Yeah.
And so still a lot of people judge.
And also, look, like you are financially independent and could have a nice life. I became financially independent, but I also have like some hard moments to struggling to survive financially. But like this challenge of coming out and have this judgmental family happens to both of us.
Yeah, because you are like a religious family.
Yeah,
That's
so-
another thing. Yeah, it's also hard.
It's like your father's behavior is just the same of my father's behavior, but in a different approach. It's just like this, and yeah. But I think the world is changing and society is evolving. So parents should love their kids no matter what, and should like looking for the kids' happiness, not about their own happiness or their own honor or their own shame or something. So I guess this will happen. It's just that we were born like this in this time, and
Yeah.
we were born this way, baby.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if like in 50 years, our kids watch this video. I wish them to know that how hard work we were doing right now to have a life together and then set up this family with them.
I'm getting emotional.
Yeah, me too, when thinking about kids, right? That's why we make this account. It's not only about like trying to be famous or trying to be an influencer or like make money from it. Yeah, absolutely, if we can. But now it seems like we cannot. But it doesn't matter. It's I wish that this kind of content, like in future, if we are old or if we already pass away, and then our descendants, our son, our grandson, yeah, they can know about their grandparents, like what their life would be. And at that time, I think even in China, it could be more open and people can more easily to come out. And now it's really pretty hard. But I mean, it needs like people like us, even if our video always got blocked, and also like and some people judge in the comments, like yeah, I know that, but yeah, this actually, I think a lot of gays in China, if they can survive and if they fight, actually they are really fighters and they are really strong, because they need to hold a lot of pressure, especially in China.
It's just like Stonewall happened, and all these people that came before us and fight for us to have civil rights, you know, here in the Western side. So we honor them and we remember them, and yeah, we are grateful for them.
This needs a process.
Yes,
so,
and we are part of a change, you know.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. We are looking forward to a comment in maybe 10 years, not 50. 50, I'm really afraid I cannot see it. At 10 years, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all for this video, and just feel free to leave any comments. And even if you get confused or you want to like express your feelings, your anxiety, your depression, just feel free to
Or ask some advice. We're here for you guys. We're a community.
Yeah, see you next time. Okay.
Oh.